and welcome to the Creative Courage Circle here at the Boileroom. It is our 16th birthday. Yay, give it up for Boileroom. My name is ERIKA. I will be the host today. I'm also performing today as well. I'm joined by three incredible artists, and I will, you guys will introduce yourselves in a minute. So the Creative Courage Circle is much like a songwriting circle and something I like to call a pussy storm, which is where a bunch of women get together and I ask questions and there is no feedback, and it's just about opening up and talking about maybe things that we don't particularly talk about. It started in lockdown at my house, and then the Boileroom took it on about a year and a half ago, and we've been here ever since. So this is our new home, and we absolutely love it here because it's the best. So, Kizzy, should we start with you?
Yeah, we can.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, I'm Kizzy. I am a singer-songwriter. I am now based in Somerset.
Great.
That is me.
We're going to hear what you do anyway,
Yeah.
which is amazing. Yeah, absolutely. And Lydia.
Yeah. Ooh, there we go. Hi.
Was it weird that I introduced you as an artist?
Yeah, I love that.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. Very nice. It's only my second time being on stage, so thanks for having me. But yeah, I'm Lydia. I'm a writer. I'm currently working on my debut novel, which I'm going to read a bit from tonight.
It's really exciting.
Yeah.
Amazing. And Bryony.
Hello, I'm Bryony. I'm a singer-songwriter also, and I am from Surrey, from very near Guildford, grown up around here. Did one of my first shows here. It's on the roof. Yeah, that's me.
And yeah, I'm ERIKA, and yeah, I do music. I make music as well. We'll get into that anyway. But so we're going to go in the round, and I'll probably kick it off. I hadn't thought about what song I'm going to do first. Okay, I'm going to do, yeah. So this is a really old song, actually. It was probably one of the, it's a song called I'm Just a Nobody, and it was from my band Imma, and we used to play here a lot, actually, so it's quite nice to come back, and that was a long time ago. And I completely reworked it because it was heavy, and now it's kind of based more on the piano. And it's weird. I think I played that with you. Did you play that with me, Chris? Yeah. Yeah, that's how long ago it was. So it was, yeah, it's kind of like a heavy rock sound, but it's, yeah, I wrote it in a garage with a mate. We were sat on the floor. I remember vividly writing it. But yeah, here it is. If I could move mountains and dance on the moon, live in the ocean, these dreams would come true. Or maybe just smile at a child passing by. Here I'll smile without fear, I'll smile here out. If I could touch yours and 1,000 more hearts, make them steady their beat like an old Indian drum. Or maybe just smile at a child passing by. Here I'll smile without fear, I'll smile here out. I'm just a nobody trying to be somebody. I'm just a nobody trying to be somebody. If I could just stand on the tips of my toes, reach high enough to achieve all my goals. Pain on the surface cuts deep in my skin. It won't shelter my hope from within. I'm just a nobody trying to be somebody. I'm just a nobody trying to be somebody. If I could move mountains and dance on the moon, live in the oceans, these dreams would come true. Or maybe just smile at a child passing by. You must smile without fear, I'll smile you out. I'm just a nobody trying to be somebody. 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 Thank you. So after each song is a question. So the first question is, what is your brag? What is my brag? Every month I'm like, I need to think about what I'm doing, and I still don't know. My brag is that, has everyone had a really weird week this week? Yeah. It's been really weird. Things have been breaking. People have been leaving this world, and just lots of weird stuff. Dogs going crazy. And I think my brag is that I have really tried to keep boundaries in place for me. My MO is that I always go to fix and help and try and jump in with my opinion on what I think someone else should be doing, or how I feel that they should be living, or if they're feeling down or there's something hard happening. And I think my brag is that I didn't do that. And I even I think I did a voice note of going to someone, yeah, well, this happened to me, and I thought, what am I doing? I'm just doing the same thing again. And rather than going into fix and just going to someone, I hear you, I'm really sorry, things are shit. So my brag is that I was boundaried. That's my brag. Yay! So Kizzy.
Hi.
Hi, what's your first song?
The first song I'm going to play is a song called Promise. Sorry. I've recently bought a new guitar, and I now have some gear, but still not much idea. So this is...
Totally relate, by the way.
Yeah, gig number 3 with my new child, which is exciting. There we go. This song is about how sometimes you've got to tell people not to worry about you, and you're doing all right, and that's okay. And they shouldn't worry, and everything will work out in the end as it should. I promise it will.
Nice.
That's what this is about.
Okay.
I thought you were an architect when we first met, 'cause you'd put up these walls that I would always neglect. Everything I'd say, you'd always put in reverse. And I could never tell you just how much it would hurt when I would lie awake at night, wishing there was someone by my side. I promise this will be the last time, so I've gotta make it count. I promise you can have the last word until another leaves my mouth, and that I'll always be there until I get worse. Just as long as you promise you'll never put me first. The sunset was always orange whenever I would see you, and sometimes it shines so bright that we look straight to the moon. should be looking forward. I'm always stuck in the past. Maybe I get addicted to all the things that don't last when I lie awake at night, wishing there was someone on my mind. I promise this will be the last time, so I've gotta make it count. I promise you can have the last word until another leaves my mouth, and that I'll always be there until I get worse, just as long as you promise you'll never put me first.
Gorgeous. Kizzy, what's your brag?
I was thinking about this. I was thinking on the drive here. I couldn't remember what the first question was. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And I was talking to my friends, and I think my brag is I made a very bold decision this year to become self-employed, which was terrifying.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to do it, and luckily I've got all of these lovely people around me that have really helped me, and now I'm started a new career as a tour manager, and I'm doing my own gigs as well, which is amazing. So yeah, that's my brag. That
Yeah, great
getting out
brag.
there.
Great brag. And also just more women in touring companies is so important. I was saying this earlier. You know, it really does change. Like when I first started touring, it was maybe I was the only woman on tour. And actually the more I've been touring now, it's really nice to see more female riggers, some more tour managers. And, you know, I just want more though, you know, and it just really changed the dynamic of being on tour. So yes, great. I'm really pleased. Well done.
Thank you.
Lydia, what's
Hi.
your first excerpt?
Yeah, so I'm reading from one scene. I thought I'd do it in 3 chunks so get a bit more flavour. But yeah, this is sort of near the end of the book. It's kind of dystopian. It's sort of a bit kind of sci-fi, a bit kind of speculative fiction. But it's sort of imagining a world where the arts and creativity are seen as frivolous or unnecessary or surplus to requirements. So you can tell I started this project in lockdown. But yeah, it kind of really grew, you know, something that made me, you know, realise how important places like this are. I've always known that. I've obviously worked here for 10 years. So, but it just sort of really hit home. This can be a very big building when there's no one here. So this kind of all poured out from that, really. So yeah, this is kind of a scene where my protagonist, Ezra, has been captured. And sort of follows from there, really. But yeah. Okay. Ezra wakes, her neck stiff, her vision slowly coming into focus, lying prostrate on an obsidian slab, head raised to observe the room and the globulous shapes hovering above her face. This room is different, tiled in a stark white, a metal doorframe visible in the wall to her left. Her shoes and socks have been removed, and a gleaming metal trolley with scalpels, forceps, cannulas, pen drives, and other implements sits, waiting in the opposite corner. An eyebot gleams from the ceiling, scuttling for a better view, lens clicking and whirring, its elongated limb tapping slowly in front of its body. Registering her consciousness, the orbs shift their mass, forming human-shaped legs and arms, globulous eyes bulging from slab faces. Slits appear beneath, little rows of teeth form and lolling tongues. Hello, AO23D. We will begin extraction now. My colleague will ask you some questions. Please remain calm and in a horizontal position. The soft, gentle tone of its voice hisses, body twitching and pulsing under the light. It moves towards the trolley, extending a tendril to poke and prod the tools on the tray as the orb swivels its features towards Ezra and leans closer down to her face. Hello, AO23D. We will begin extraction now. I will ask you some questions. Please remain calm and in a horizontal position. It hovers, pulsing above her. Ezra tries to remain deathly still, her arms and legs rigid, fists balled by her sides. Please state your given name, the orb twitches. Minnie Mouse, Ezra says flatly. The orb hovers, twitches as something inside clicks and whirs. It's thinking. That answer is incorrect. Please state your given name, AO23D, for internal filing. The orb quivers in front of her. When is a door not a jaw? When it's ajar. Ezra smiles brightly, laughing. That answer is incorrect. Please answer the question correctly, AO23D. The orb near the tray straightens. One eye still focusing on the tray. The other moves 180 degrees and extends on a tendril to peer at Ezra. Anne Frank. My name is Anne Frank. The orbs stare at each other, eyes extending, before circling back to Ezra's laughing face. If you do not comply, we will use force. Is this understood? Ezra becomes silent then, her face growing grave. It's Ezra. I don't know my surname. I don't have one anymore. The orb nearest Ezra quivers and clicks, processing. Negative. Your surname is Fontaine. Your full given name is Ezra Fontaine. The orb clicks and twitches, mass bulging and shimmering in the light. Why bother asking me if you knew already? Ezra raises her voice, knuckles white. Please remain calm and in the horizontal position, AO23D. Protocol dictates all subjects must answer the following questions to be compliant. The secondary orb returns to Ezra's other side, maneuvering the trolley in front with its human-shaped hands, its little fingers longer than its thumbs curled round the push handle. What is your origin of birth, AO23D? How should I know? Ezra tenses. These questions are pointless. Please answer the question. I don't know, all right. Do you know your origins? Both orbs respond at once. We were created by the Maker at 14:32 hours, 21:03:51. We are a solid projection of the program. We do not exist as separate entities. The orbs shimmer and click, as though trying to contain laughter they did not have. You were born in London, in Hampstead Heath, at 2200 hours, on 02:07:52. Ezra lay there incomprehensive. Gods, they knew more about me than I know myself.
So good. I want to know more. What is your brag?
So I think sort of similarly to Kizzy, I started the brave leap into self-employment this year. Sort of very lucky to have honed a lot of skills at my time at the Boileroom with funding and community-based projects, and so now I support the arts, freelancing, writing funding applications for artists and makers. And my brag is one of my recent clients was successful, and we got them 5K.
Yes.
So
yes.
Hooray!
Great.
So yeah, it's pretty pumped.
Amazing. Good brag.
Thank you.
Also, you should brag that you've written a novel.
Yeah.
Last time you were here, you just finished your creative writing course.
Yeah,
right? You were
that's
writing
right.
the things that you'd written for that course.
Yeah, that's
So-
right. Yeah, I'm about.
So you've actually, because you were saying this is at the end as well.
This is at the end, but I'm about 40,000 words in now, so I've got a little way to go.
Amazing.
But yeah, it's getting there. It's really shaping up nicely now.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bryony. Okay.
Hello.
What's your first song?
This song is called Twist of Fate. I put it out fairly recently, and I wrote it almost a year ago now, and it's a love song, and it's about the experience of thinking that you're kind of doomed, and then meeting someone and being like, how is this happening to me? Like, how is this so nice? So yeah, it's quite sweet.
We got caught out in the rain. You held your jacket over my head, but we got soaked anyway. You said our stride length was the same as we stepped over the puddles on the pavement. I always make you late. You never complain. Wet hair on my face. You're a twist of fate. Can I be your fire? Can I call it by a different name. All alone in your apartment. I feel at ease in your domain. Please don't hide away your heart.
thank you.
Stunning. Thank you. Bryony, what's your brag?
So I was thinking, I also text my mum, and I was like, what is my brag? What is my good thing that I've been doing? But recently I started a songwriting business for people who want to give songs to their partners or friends or whatever as a present. I started it with my partner Harley, and we were just like, well, you know, we both write songs, and it's kind of easy to write a song in our situation if you have loads of loads of thoughts about someone's story or whatever. So we obviously ask people to send us loads of info and little crazy details or whatever. And someone from Australia ordered a song, which we were like shocked that they wanted us to write them a song. But it was for a 10-year anniversary. This lady had been with her partner for 10 years, and she wanted a love song about him and about their love story. So they sent loads of stuff, and we worked really hard, and we were like, oh, we need to make this amazing. And they gave us an amazing review, like 5 stars, said it was fantastic, exceeded expectations and stuff. So yeah, I was really chuffed that, you know, something so personal as well that they can have forever, that they really liked it. Yeah, so it was really
That's a real testament to your songwriting as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. That's so cool. What a fun thing to do as well, and reading about how people met or just the fun things about their life. It's so nice.
It's so rewarding. It's so meaningful. It's so rewarding as well. I've never wanted someone to like a song so much that I've written, because it was just like, this is their life, you know, this is their love story. And there was some crazy stuff that they were saying about, as everyone does with their you know, the little intimate details of we do this, or we have this name for each other, or whatever, or our cats are called this because of it. It was just, really interesting. So hopefully we'll get more, and there'll be more stories to tell.
Yeah, that's so nice, because I don't know about you guys or any songwriters out there, I think sometimes when you songwrite, certainly for me, it's for me to really understand how I fit in this place in the world. So actually to be writing about really lovely, joyous things is... Yeah. I know I would find it really hard. All my songs sad. But it must be so nice to be able to do that. Yeah, great. Really super cool. Can I borrow your guitar? Is that okay? Thank you. Hi, Purdy. You seem a bit restless today, aren't you? Yeah. How's Ringo doing? Yeah. Got all the dogs in today, and Frida as well. Ringo's found Rosie's shoe as a pillow. Right. I haven't played guitar in ages. I don't know what's going to come out. So as I said, most of the songs are gloomy and doomy. This one is trying to be empowering. No, I think it is empowering, actually. No, it is. And I really felt like I haven't sung this in a while, so I really wanted to do it. It's a song called Warrior. And I wrote this up in Edinburgh with a friend of mine. And it was about the music industry at that time. I think I'd just been through loads of different labels and management, and I was just a bit pissed off with it all, basically. So, Another fork in the road, another door slamming in my face. I've been kicked to the ground, dreams shattered like glass. And I'm biding my time till I can give them hell. And I'm biting my tongue, then shut them down. And all I really ever wanted was a warrior, to find the fight in me to be a little stronger, a little bolder. Where's that warrior in me? Heading straight to the storm, feels like rain's carving up my skin. wanted was a warrior. Found the fight in me to be a little stronger, little bolder. There's that warrior. And all I really ever wanted was a warrior. To find the fight in me to be a little stronger, little bolder. There's that warrior in me. Oh, and all I really ever wanted was a warrior. To find the fight in me to be a little stronger, little bolder. There's that warrior in me. 'Cause all I really ever wanted was this warrior. All I really ever wanted was this warrior. All I really ever wanted was this warrior, warrior, warrior. Thank you. Grateful. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for nerdy people. For people that really dig into a subject and really get to know everything about that subject. Because I don't have the headspace for that. I'm really, I think my ADHD is definitely around, when I'm hyper-focused, it's definitely around like music and this, but when it comes to like buildings and treatments and stuff like that, I'm like, I have no headspace to like research things. Like a lot of people love researching, and so I'm really grateful for those people. I'm on a fertility journey at the moment, and I'm with this incredible woman called Nava, and she is so focused on so many different things, and she has such a broad knowledge of everything, and it's really, really admirable. So if you're like that, I'm very grateful for you. So yeah. Is he all right? Do you want me to take him? Are you sure? Okay. Kizzy, what's your second song? Oh, actually, just while you're grabbing your guitar, messages. Gretchen says, beautiful as always. And then I think I saw that one from Gretchen as well. It said, Kizzy, amazing. Annie, amazing vocals. Happy Sweet 16 birthday, Boileroom, says... oh, hang on, I said that with the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllables there, didn't I? Happy Sweet 16 birthday. Is that right? Did I say that right? Boileroom. This is what happens when you don't sleep much. That's from Annie. Thank you, Annie. Thank you, Annie. Kizzy, what's your second song?
My next song, hang on. I released a few weeks ago now. I wrote it with my housemate at the time, and I think it's kind of about when you're in a situation and it's kind of going downhill, and you just want it to right, I'm done with this now, like done with the negative, like I want to move on. But you're like stuck in that and waiting for the people around me to get this done and over with. It's called Over, so I'm trying not to say over whilst I'm describing it. But if you want to listen to the actual version, it sounds nothing like how I'm about to play it, but this is how I play it. You speak fast, but your heart is slow. And you want me, but you want full control. Sit down, come back when you're on your own. Make up your mind before it gets old. You're never in my dreams at night.
it feels like you're by my side, and I can't see you falling for her. Just tell me that it's over. You should say your piece right. Lately we don't talk right. Maybe we can go somewhere and act like it's the first time. My mind is shouting no, it hasn't been that long. Wish that we could skip this bit. Just tell me that it's over. Tell me that it's over. You're sitting courtside and I'm trying to forget. You nod with your eyes, but I'm shaking my head. You don't think I see signs of what you've done. You don't know what you've got until it's gone. You were never in my dreams at night. Now it feels like you're by my side, and I can see you falling for her. Just tell me that it's over. You should say your piece right. Lately we don't talk right. Maybe we can go somewhere and act like it's the first time. My mind is shouting no, it hasn't been that long. Wish that we could skip this bit. Just tell me that it's over. Tell me that it's over. Just tell me that it's over. Thank you.
Thank you. It was lovely.
Thanks.
What are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for? I would say probably like moving on from what I said before. Definitely, I've got a very nice group of people around me at the moment. I've been fortunate enough to move back into my parents' house, which is lovely. No, it's really great that they've let me move back in, and they aren't charging me Surrey rent prices, which is amazing. And I've got my brothers at home as well with me, and my friends at home, and my friends back in Surrey. We're all still like in touch and FaceTiming all the time. Technology's great. Like, yeah, it's nice that I've got that support around me, and I'm just really grateful for everyone.
And like you said, because you've been driving so much, doing your tour managing.
Yeah.
Actually, the long drives, or some people might consider quite long, don't seem that
It's
long
down
anymore.
the road.
Yeah.
Surrey is down the road now.
Exactly.
It's
A
like,
couple of hours. What's
yeah,
that?
what's that?
Amazing. Oh, well, you deserve it.
Thank you.
Yay. Okay, we all want to know what happens next.
All right, let's go in.
Okay, we're in.
Who are your birthing partners? The first orb quivers. My parents, you mean? Ezra's chest tightens. Correct, AO23D. Who are your birthing parents? The secondary orb's eye extends further towards Ezra's face. She can almost feel it brush against her cheek. I don't know, do I? Ezra lets out a sob, her body shaking with rage. Please remain calm and in a horizontal position, AO23D, Orb 1 intones, mass pulsating. Ezra lets out a piercing scream, grabbing the tendril attached to the secondary orb's eyeball and pulls hard. It lets out an electronic shriek, its body spasming with the shock of contact as she rips the tendril free. Ezra leaps over while the first orb crashes headfirst into the other, bodies knitting together as they integrate to form one large, constricting and pulsating heap. The eyebot scuttles and drops onto Ezra's head, and she angles her body, running full pelt at the wall, ramming it into the tiles. Its tendril hangs limply, broken by wires, as it short circuits on the floor. Dazed, Ezra grabs the hyperdrive pen on the tray and stuffs it into her pocket as she sprints down the corridor. She has mere moments to run before sirens sound across the archive. She's deep underground in a labyrinth, leading to interrogation rooms, labs, and gods knew what else. She has a vague sense of direction, summoning in her mind the blueprints and site plans Ezra steals. Ezra running down the length of the corridor, bare feet slapping against the concrete floor, making a sharp turn to the right, right again, then left into a door marked prohibited access. She shoves the orb's eye into the scan pad and, locking the door behind her, she stares at the enormous power bank glowing from the ceiling to the floors miles below. An enormous Python cable that powers the archive's subvaults buzzes and hums, making the ends of her hair crackle. Her fingers spark when she brushes her jumper. She climbs over the low metal balustrades surrounding the bank and onto the narrow ladder that follows alongside the cable down into the belly of the building. Rung over rung, she makes her way down, passing through other empty little rooms, shafts and crawl spaces on her way, careful to hide behind the bank if a shadow passes by doors and portholes on her descent. The sirens grow quieter as she goes, her footsteps tapping on the metal rungs, echoing the further she got. Ezra was heading for a blank space on the map, redacted from the blueprint she'd stolen. A large oblong black box, buried into the substrate of the archive's foundations. Rumour among the staff was that this was where all the data post-Unification Day was kept. Thousands of hours of CCTV footage, audio files, transcripts, dossiers, a digital trail of the wreckage of humanity. She lands hard on the last step onto the concrete floor and her leg caves underneath her. She rubs her arms to bring the blood back to her veins as she sits up and looks around. The high ceilings of the vast rectangular room tower above her, the only light through the gloom from the greenish glow of a large, deep oval shape which took up most of the space. This must be the data lake. There was a click followed by a whir from the fans lining the walls, monitoring the temperature to keep the atmosphere cool, making Ezra shiver. Blocks of concrete in varying heights scatter around the lakes like rocks, forming their own little pools. She walks down to the shoreline, fancying she can hear a lapping of distant waves, but the surface remains as smooth and still as glass. She crouches down to put her hand in and is met with some resistance, its consistency like that of a slick silicon gel, the water, although it is slippery. It clings to her fingertips, and she wipes the hands down the sides of her tracksuit, remembering the drive in her pocket as she did so. From the little window on its side, she can see the milky white liquid sloshing around the hyperdrive pen, twisting off the cap to reveal a large, sharp needle. Ezra stabs herself in the neck. She drops to her knees, convulsing as it begins to take effect. Her eyes roll back in their sockets and take on a milky glow, her mouth slack. She falls, sinking, just below the surface of the lake, her body limp, twitching as her mind goes into overdrive, soaking up raw data with an unquenchable thirst. She relinquishes the possibility to control what she embeds within her own memory. The lake is a flash flood of information pouring into her that she's powerless to stop. Her body jerks, feet kicking, arms shaking, twisting and thrashing in the slick, pearlescent liquid. She rocks herself back to stillness like a wave. The seizure breaks and she lies there in quiet once more. Her eyelids flutter, whites of her eyes tinged pinky red with red, burst blood vessels, her body weak from exertion. Why I put that down.
I need to turn mine on as well. So good.
Thank you.
Oh. Liz, what are you grateful for?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that I'm grateful for. I think sort of, having the support of family, friends, my partner, sort of to be able to do this, to write, to have that that space to do that. And it's a big shout out to my number one champion, Dom. There she is. Who is always sort of pushing me to do greater and bigger things and to be creative and and probably should be getting 10% of most of my freelance jobs that I own. I think she's got me every client since I started.
Creative. Give your money away. Don't give your money away.
But no, it's all about sort of having those champions around you and siblings, yes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you deserve it, 100%.
Thank you.
Bryony, what's your second? Does anyone have any questions or any things they want to share of their brags or what they're grateful for? That's fine. You can mentally take note. Just see if there's any more messages here. No, we don't. So anyone watching online, if you have any messages for any of the artists, feel free to write them and I will let them know. Also, there is I think there's a PayPal link on the Boileroom page if you want to donate anything to these artists. All money goes to them as well, so please do feel free to donate. Bryony, what's your second song?
My guitar is not.
Oh.
My second song is as yet untitled. I wrote it with a really lovely, amazing artist called Heron Wolf, or Francesco. You know Francesco, he's incredible person, just so warm and so lovely. But we met up and we're in a choir. Well, I don't know if he's still in the choir, but I'm in the choir. We met in a choir called Choir Co, which is an amazing a cappella choir with like 60 people in it. And we got together, and Francesco was telling me that he'd written some words about loss and about how just like it was very like interesting just thoughts on his experience of loss and losing various different people, and how losing amazing people, they leave amazing things in your life, but then you also feel like sometimes you can't quite live up to that amazingness that they've left behind. But also, so the song is about that, but also my own experience of like going through loss and trying to continue on in like what they would think about that, I guess. You can kind of take what you will from it. But
forge skyscrapers of gold, bright and glistening. Now my view is nothing but shadows. You took me to the kitchen to delineate the dawn. I thought you were a vision, a revelation untold. So tell me, what am I supposed to do with such majesty? When on my skin I keep collecting postcards of mortality. But Midas won't touch me, 'cause I'm bound to the rust. I don't need to be pretty or precious, as long as my heart is pumping blood. In this gilded hall with heaven painted on the walls, and all the prophecies you taught me crumble with these walls. I could hear the angels singing, they sounded just like you. Was it just an echo, the reverb of the room? It got me through. So tell me, what am I supposed to do with such majesty? When on my skin I keep collecting postcards of mortality. But Midas won't touch me, 'cause I'm bound to the rust. I don't need to be pretty or precious, as long as my heart is pumping blood. Pumping, pumping, pumping blood. Pumping, pumping, pumping. And Midas won't touch me, 'cause I'm bound to the rust. I don't need to be pretty or precious, as long as my heart is pumping.
Thank you.
That's lyrically incredible. It's so beautiful.
Francesco and me.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
But yeah, very inspiring person to write with, gotta say.
Yeah, they're super cool. Bryony, what are you grateful for?
It feels like a very cliche thing to say, and I mean, it's kind of the theme, but I'm really grateful for my family. I could go on and on about how grateful I am for them. Similarly, I've just moved back home, and my parents are just so welcoming and accepting and encouraging of my, like, desires to do music. I often say, like, I'm the lottery child, but I feel like that's because any one of us could have done it and, like, decided that they were just going to keep going and pursuing our creative ideals or whatever. But I am so lucky that they're there and really supporting me, and in so many ways. Like, my dad, my parent, like, I really am into, like, I don't eat beef, I don't eat like any red meat, I don't really eat dairy. Like, I'm really trying to be as sustainable as possible. And my dad, like, doesn't necessarily do that, but he was like, I bought you a vegetarian haggis. I was just like, that is just so sweet. Like, he's really, like, for him to eat too as well, like the same thing, like buying these like vegan pastas and being like, we can share this, and I'm like, this is so sweet, and like he really doesn't have to do that. So really appreciate him for that, and both my parents for being endlessly supportive, but also my siblings. They always come to gigs, they always share, they always support, and we finally got the chance to do a song together really recently for my parents' 40th wedding anniversary, which, like, it's mad that they have had a 40th wedding anniversary. But yeah, we finally sang this song that we'd been singing together in the car for years and years, and recorded it and gave it to them as a present. But it's just so nice. Like, I'm just so lucky to have such an like supportive and encouraging family, basically. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. You deserve it. I've got a message here. Really enjoying this Creative Courage Circle. Your voices and stories are all amazing. Wishing you all the best of success on your journeys, and happy 16th birthday, Boileroom. Thanks for sharing your space with us all. Thank you, Boileroom. Thank you all. That's from Gretchen in Angers in France. So that's nice. The last round. Final song. Oh yeah, I'm going to do a cover. I'm going to take a really happy song and make it really sad. Sorry. So that song that everyone knows, Simply the Best. Yeah, just because, I don't know, it just felt right for the Boiler Room today, just because it's, you know, we're celebrating the Boiler Room, and it is one of the best places to come to. It's super supportive. I know over the years for me as well, I've kind of dotted in and out and had a little office upstairs for a little while, and you know, just it's one of these places that always feels like home. Like, it feels really comfy and cozy, even if you haven't been here all that much either. So yeah, very grateful for it. So thank you everyone who has ever worked at the Boiler Room and who is presently working as well. So here we go. How do I do it? I call you when I need you, my heart's on fire. You come to me wild and wilder. You come to me, give me everything I need. Give me a lifetime of promise and a world of dreams. Speak the language of love like you know what it means. Just as long as I'm here in your arms, I can be in no better space. You're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I'd ever met. So stuck on your heart, I hang on every word you say. Tear us apart now. Baby, I would rather be dead. In your heart, I see the start of every night and every day. In your arms, I get lost, I get washed away. Just as long as I'm here in your arms, I can be in no better place. Yes, simply the best. fingers, hands, mouth, don't know what I'm doing. Thank you. So what do I desire? I desire to keep making mistakes. That's what I like to do. Actually, do you know what? In all seriousness, yeah. I want to continue to make mistakes. I think so I just had my 40th birthday in the summer, and I think for me, I find the things that I do and I get comfortable doing this and doing that, and actually I want to stop doing that. I want to keep doing things as I was doing 20 years ago and making mistakes and figuring myself out and figuring shit out, and I think that's that is my desire, is to keep challenging myself and keep making mistakes. Yeah. Hey. Thank you. Kizzy, what's your final song?
Hello. So I kind of realised I've unintentionally kind of done like what I would describe like the start of something, the waiting for it to end, and now this is like a reflection song. It's called Boy. Wonder what it's about. And it's about like how things end, unfortunately, and that's okay. We learn from our mistakes and we take that into something new and hope that something better is around the corner. So, yeah. My mother said I could be anything I set my heart to be, and I wanted to be yours. My brother said you were nowhere near what I'm looking for. It took me far too long, but I guess we tried our hardest, boy. It's not enough to make me hate your joy. Every day I noticed that you weren't here. How could I let those months turn into years? My father said you can go around throwing your punches, girl. Just be careful where you swing. And you always said I was not the one to make you laugh or sing, and that I always overthink. But I guess we tried our hardest, boy. It's not enough to make me hate your joy. Every day I noticed that you weren't here. How could I let those months turn into years? And I know that it gets harder when the morning comes, it's dark again. I know that it gets hard at night when death has never lost a fight. I know that it gets harder when the morning comes, it's dark again. I know that it gets hard at night when death has never lost a fight. I know that it gets harder when the morning comes, it's dark again. I know that it gets hard at night when death has never lost a fight. I guess we tried our hardest, boy. It's not enough to make me hate your joy. And every day I noticed you weren't
so much, Gizzy.
Thanks.
Yeah, because last time someone played for you, didn't they?
Yeah,
So it's
so-
really nice to...
I'm getting back into it and trying.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. It's really great.
Thank
Super
you.
cool. How are you finding your new baby?
I love it so much. It looks cool, so that's all that matters.
Sounds great too. What do you desire for yourself?
So I was thinking about this one the most because I try not to think too much about wanting things that we don't already have, because sometimes that can be a bit like an never-ending list. I recently lost my auntie, and I had the funeral on Friday, and it was really strange because there was like so many people there, and like I've known my auntie like my whole life, obviously, and she's always that person that you take her somewhere and you're there for hours because she just spoke to everybody, like she knew every person in the town, which I was just like, oh my God, I just want to, come on, let's go. But like, for then there was hundreds of people there, like we couldn't all fit in the room, and it's just like so lovely to think that like you've met one person one time and you've got that connection for life. And I think that's what I desire, is to not... I have a tendency to cut people off quite easily. And I think sometimes you need to hold on to those people because those are the people that bring you up when you're down. And yeah, my desire is to keep my circle, big or small, and build those lifelong friendships.
Love that. So it shall be, definitely. You sound like an amazing woman.
She really was, yeah.
Thank you. I will go around again where everyone can find you and stuff. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, but also not, because you're going to leave us and then we have to wait till the book's out.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
Sorry. Okay. Ezra crawls from the lake on tremulous limbs, head swimming from the rushing onslaught of information, stumbling to sit down heavy on a concrete block, the backs of her legs, torso, arms slick with the silicone gel. A speck of light pinpricks the gloomy, incessant windows as she sifts through the surge of information swamping her mind. She latches onto it, bringing it to the fore of her vision. The speck enlarges to an image, a snapshot of CCTV footage in grainy sepia tones. The image jolts and begins to move across her mind's eye, time stamped in the corner from 5 years previously. Ezra breathes hard, scraping gel from her eyes, hair, as she scrutinizes the little reel of footage jerking forwards and backwards. A queue of people in 2 columns shuffle along a chain-link fence, soled feet on bare, tamped earth. They twist round several lower fences like an intestine, inching towards a large, imposing gate she can just make out at the side of the frame. Dark, viscous shapes hover, overseeing the rows from the sidelines, making Ezra shudder. Orbs. She zooms in on the line. What are they walking towards? Where are they? Faces stare blankly forwards, devoid of emotion. She winces, touching hand to temple as she continues. Empty gazes and thin, flat lines where smiling, talking, living lips should be. Halfway down this line, she spots 2 people walking closely, side by side. They look straight ahead, but she can just make out their hands clasped together under the folds of their coats. Something sparkles on the woman's ear. She zooms in again, an earring in the shape of a serpent eating its own tail to form an internal loop through her ear. Ezra's cheeks grow hot. The back of her neck prickles as her hand travels up to her right ear, fingers touching the hoop that resides there, lodged in her lobe. The sensation is electric. Her hand leaps away from her head as though burnt. The picture snaps back into the recesses of her mind, and she falls off the block, dazed. Lying there, she moves onto her front to crawl on her knees to the shoreline to look at her green reflection in the gloom. gazing at her own wide eyes, pupils dilated, her laboured breathing making little ripples on the surface, smudging her own countenance. She tries to steady her breath, and putting her weight onto her left arm, lifts the curtain of slicked back hair, tilting her head to the right to see the little serpent with its fiery red eye winking back at her from her earlobe. She sits bolt upright, hair falling onto her face, hands shaking. Is this real? The hoop was so much bigger when she was a child. Even now, she still plays with it absent-mindedly or touches it to steady her nerves. She reaches up to touch it now between forefinger and thumb, rocking back onto her knees. A loud bang startles her from her reverie. From the far side of the room, a metallic clang sounds like a gong as a row of floodlights switch on one by one, illuminating the cavernous room with harsh, bright white light. Ezra gets to her feet, shaking, staring wildly around her in panic. Another loud bang precedes a howling, whirling sound as the enormous fans lining each side of the room intensify, making gelatinous waves on the lake's surface. A silver, clicking mass erupts from the vents in the ceiling, crawling down the walls, lenses scanning. They're here. Stepping into the shallows, arms covering her face to shelter from the winds, she dives and kicks with all her might, arms rigid as she half pushes, half swims down into the body of the lake. Images stream through her mind, but she anchors herself to the image of her mother and father, making their eternal walk into the unknown. Her limbs ache with a ferocity as the weight of the lake presses on her further and further down below the surface, until she sees a large vault wheel shimmering at the bottom of the great concrete bowl. She pushes herself on, lungs burning until her fingertips brush the metal. Planting her feet on either side, she begins to turn, arms wrenching as she pulls the wheel to the left, struggling to keep her grip, pushing down through her legs for balance. Her eyes are burning, diaphragm inflamed, as with the last of her strength, she wrenches the door open. Her consciousness leaves her as she sluices down into the sewage system beneath.
Is that the first time you've read that out in front of people?
In front, other than Johnny, shout out to Johnny, my boyfriend. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
I feel like there's some tongue twistery bits in there. It's like,
Practicing for the audiobook.
yeah. But no, it brings it to life, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Outside of here and out there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
incredible. I can't wait to read it.
Oh, thanks for listening.
Yeah. What do you desire?
Oh, yes. So I think my desire is to keep going. So, like I say, with the writing, I'm sort of, getting there. I'm about 40,000 words in, but I think at first I was like, oh yeah, I can get it done, in a year. Get the first draft done, then it'll only take a couple of months to do a second draft, and that may still well be the case, and if I need to think that to trick myself into keep going, then I'll stick with that. But I think, sometimes when a novel to me feels so vast and so big that it can feel overwhelming and like this is never gonna come to fruition. But taking it a bit at a time and just keep going. Just kind of,
Do you have like a writing routine, or how does it? Is it like I don't know how these guys write either, but whether it's a moment of I need to write that down, or
yeah, it's sort of. I don't have like a daily habit, which is another thing. I'm like I should but when I get sort of I'll sit there, I'll keep going for like 6 or 8 hours and just kind of power through and like write a whole big chunk. and like try not to be tempted to go back and edit, because then it's like sometimes it could be a process of doubt, and you end up just sort of cutting all of it or being like, this is crap. That was a Saturday gone, but but that's the whole thing. You've just got to keep going. And I think my course and like the friends and family I have around, just sort of, you just got to get it out, I think, and spell it. And then the editing is secondary, and that's okay to cut things out. Like, you have to do that, and that's fine. It's part of the process, but just initially it's just to just keep persevering, really, and not think about second guessing yourself, or like, which I think can be so easy to do, right? When you're writing, it's quite lonely unless you've got someone writing with you. So that's kind of my desire, really. Yeah.
Amazing.
Keep at it.
Yeah, please do. Thank you. Bryony, what's your last song?
This song is called Dandelions on the Central Reservation. And,
great title.
I love titles. And I started writing this in a car on a road trip with my parents and my sister and my baby nephew and her husband. They needed to be in the story, apparently. And we were in France, and we were just driving through sort of central France. But as we'd come from Surrey, and like the further into France we got, the more just dead everything was. And it was really, really spooky. And I was reading a book called The Parable of the Sower, which is a dystopian novel. Fantastic book. But it's about a world where climate change gets really, really bad, and everything's constantly like being burnt and on fire and all this sort of thing. And so it was really surreal reading this book and then looking out, like, or being in the car, getting in the car, and then just all the trees just being dead and it being August. It was really, really weird. But the thing that was the most weird to me was the fact that I wasn't thinking about that enough. I felt like I wasn't, the thing that was consuming my mind was just like missing my boyfriend. And it just was so, like, that felt almost more weird. And that's kind of in the book, in The Parable of the Sower, there's like a thing about like love and romance and stuff, and it's kind of quite an important part of the story. But it was just an interesting thing being like, but this isn't what matters, but then it is what matters. It all matters. So this song is about kind of that experience, basically.
Dandelions on the central reservation, wind in my hair, tongue on my lips, playing with you in my imagination. Text you, I want your hips on my hips. Long drives are a strange kind of meditation. Wildlife and plant life and the end of the world. We keep digging, burning, getting vaccinations, but someone's gotta look out for the boys and girls. I go from momentary bliss straight to the abyss. I'm hard, it's getting harder. The answers are big, bigger than this. I'm not that hard, but I'm getting smarter, and maybe it's not my problem, but even a mother needs caring for. I'm alright with my lot, but what have they got? I'm hard, it's getting harder. Since I met you, everything seems small, except the look on your face when you open the door. The touch of your hand, is heaven happening? Is it wrong to not want anything more? I go from momentary bliss straight to the abyss. I'm hard, it's getting harder. The answers are big, bigger than this. I'm not that hard, but I'm getting smart. 'cause nothing matters anymore except your face when you open the door, except your face when you open the door. Harder, harder, it's getting harder, 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 it's getting harder, 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 it's getting harder, 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 it's getting harder.
Love it.
Thank you.
What do you desire?
It's kind of in the theme of that song, but I really want to use my voice to change things or to add to the noise of things that I care about. I've always written from experience and like often like very like a diary, and a lot of that ends up being just about romance and friends. And so I'm kind of trying to make a conscious effort to bring my voice into the space, because I've been really struggling with like climate anxiety and what I should be doing to change, like to join that fight, because I always feel like you can go to a march, but I don't necessarily add anything except for an extra body. And lots of amazing activists are like, you need to be organizing, you need to like look at your skills and figure out what you do and like how you can help. And the only thing that always comes to mind is that I write. So I'm just really want to do more of that and just like bring my voice into that space and inspire people to maybe do what they do best in that field as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I can see it for you, definitely. I think we all can, probably. That's a beautiful song, and yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
And like you said, you're kind of walking that path already anyway, just by trying to be more sustainable. Like you are doing your bit, because even spreading to your dad as well, like you're saying. That's so nice. So, little ripples, I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? I think it's that feeling I think we can relate a lot, and it's really hard to not feel the weight on our shoulders, especially as a lot of creatives are empaths and we tend to feel everything. But little ripples really do just keep going and going and going, unless they're jelly-like and in dystopia. Okay, just see if we've got any messages online. Susan Stockbridge says, simply the best. Very fitting for the Boileroom 16th birthday, and great performers and concept of embracing everyone's brags. Always a lovely, inspiring evening in an inspiring place. Absolutely. And Susan also says, tense story, nail-biting, can't wait for more. Really like Kizzy's guitar and songs. Orange is a good uplifting colour. And Mutant Music says, woo, hi from California, sounding lush. And Bryony's voice is so clear, like a bell, rings out in a beautiful way as well from Susan. Any comments from you guys?
Thank you.
Hi, you're welcome. Just before we finish, there's... have you got a lighter? We've got a lighter. So it is the Boileroom 16th birthday, and you can't have a birthday party without having cake. So, Dom, yeah. Does anyone have a lighter? Thank you. So we're going to invite Dom, the main woman of the boiler room here. Me.
Just in the spirit of what we've just been talking
Yeah.
about, plant-based cake.
Oh, I'm not. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. I do you know what? I did try and look for one, but I couldn't find one, annoyingly. And this is on sale.
That's sustainable too.
Every 10 seconds there's just something going on.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Boileroom. Happy birthday to you. Oh, that was
So thank you all of you guys for coming down today. Please tuck into the cake. The Creative Courage Circle is every month here, so next month in October. Oh, next month is October. Well done, ERIKA. Yeah, so we're here every month, so just come on down. All the listings are up. And so let's have it for Kizzy. Lydia. And Bryony. Just Kizzy. Yeah, Kizzy, just where can we find you?
At Kizzy UK.
At Kizzy UK. And Lydia?
Stockbridge.dreamweaver.net.
Lovely. And Bryony?
It's Bryony Dunn. It's BRYONY DUNN.
Lovely. And I'm Erifu on Insta, or you can just go to officiallyerika.com. You can find everything from there. It's official. And then the Creative Courage Circle, we're on Instagram as well, which is Creative Courage Circle, so you can find us there too. Give us a little like. And on BR Vision on YouTube, you can go back and see all these incredible artists and more artists as well. If you would like to get involved, do come and have a chat with me or message me online. And we're booked up till next year, but more creatives we have, the better. And writers, we've had dancers, we've had poets, so anything creative, do come and have a chat. So thank you so much. Massive shout out to Dom on vision mixing. Woo! Beth on sound. And everyone working at the Boileroom. I know there's lots of you here as well. Thank you so much for this place. It really is so, so special. So thank you. Thank you, we're done.
Across the country feeling blue, like a rock stuck in my shoe. All I did was think of you. Across the country feeling high, like a star without a sky, like a moon without a light. And I don't wanna change your mind if you don't wanna be here.